first may I ask you your name?
Rex Nissen,
What branch of the service were you in?
the Air Force.
If you remember them, what were your dates of service?
March 4th, 66 to February 4th of 70.
Were you drafted or did you enlist?
Well, I was enlisted.
Why did you join?
Well, at the time it was either drafted or enlist, and so I enlisted in the service. I was interested in aircraft and stuff, so I joined the Air Force for see if I could get into air mechanics, which I did.
Alright, so that already answers my next question. Why did you pick the service branch you joined, which you just said was because you wanted to get into air mechanics? How old were you when you enlisted?
19.
Do you recall your first days in service?
Oh yeah, it was kind of interesting. Yeah.
Tell me about your boot camp and training experiences.
Well, they ran us through pretty fast back then because they needed a lot of people in the service. So boot camp wasn't terrible for us or anything. Not for me, it wasn't. And they ran us through in about 4 weeks, and then we went on to tech school. And from there, we got our training on 130 on C-130 is what I was trained on. And then I went on from there.
Alright, how did you get through it?
Just put it in my mind that we had to do it, and we done it. We got through it.
What type of work did you perform while in service?
I was a crew chief on B-52s up in Minot to start with. And from there, I went to Thailand. And we flew missions out of Thailand for a year there.
What did they teach you in the service?
Just a lot of respect for our country. And
You partially answered this question. Where did you serve? Like which division, which unit, which ship, etc.?
well, I was in about 3 different units. I started out in Minot. I was there for a year and a half, and then from there I went over to Utapao, Thailand. And that's where we flew out over Vietnam there. And from there I went to Offutt Air Force Base in Omaha for my last station. I was on 135 recon plane in Omaha.
You've already answered this in a way. Did you serve during a war?
Yeah. Yep.
Vietnam.
Yep, during Vietnam.
Did you see combat?
Yes.
Tell me about the chaos of the war. Did you know where you were most of the time, where the enemy was, where your objective was, and what did you do when you found it?
Well, where we were flying, we knew where we were going, and so we pretty much knew our objective there.
What did you believe at the time was at stake in the war?
Well, communism was really on the move then, and we were trying to curtail it the best we could.
Alright, this is so something you may have just answered. What did you think you were fighting for?
Well, just to keep people in the United States from communism, I guess.
Did that change once you actually got overseas and into combat?
Not really, no.
How did you feel about the enemy that you were fighting at the time?
Mm-hmm. I didn't have much feeling about it. It was a mission we had to do, and we'd go do it.
How do you feel about them now?
I have no regrets on them, for them, or anything.
Do you write home often?
Yeah, about a couple times a month usually.
Did you describe what you were actually experiencing in your letters?
No, not really. No.
What reminded you of home the most when you were overseas?
Oh, when the holidays come around, they kind of remind you of home a lot.
What did you look forward to the most when you thought about coming home?
Just getting back into United States and civilian life.
What do you think people today should know about what you went through?
Well, there was a lot of dissension when we were over there in Vietnam, and I think people are starting to realize that we were there for a reason. At the time, it was kind of up in the air what we were there for. There was a lot of dissension going on.
Tell me about a couple of your most memorable experiences.
Mm. I guess just all the training we had, going through the altitude chamber to get on flying status, just in general, all the flights we were on.
Were you awarded any medals or citations?
We got citations and stuff for different missions and stuff, yeah.
Alright. How did you get them? I think you already said why, but
Well, they were just awarded for the missions we were on.
how did you get promoted?
Testing a lot and keeping yourself out of trouble.
What was the highest rank you achieved?
I was an E5 staff sergeant.
Was there any way you could, because people are going to be watching this on the internet, do you know any way you could describe what an E5 staff sergeant is compared to just like any other staff sergeant?
Well, E5 is your grade. That's your pay grade. That's what you go by. So when you got to be staff sergeant and stuff, that's when you were assigned crew chief on a plane and stuff. So.
How did you stay in touch with your family?
Just mainly by writing letters.
What was the food like?
It wasn't bad. It was tolerable.
Did you feel pressure or stress?
Not really. There was some when you'd come back into the States, there was some, but not a whole lot where I was at, because I was usually coming back on a military aircraft, not civilian.
Was there something special you did for good luck?
No, not really. No.
How did people entertain themselves?
Just music and about it. Listen to music, and of course there was always downtown bars and stuff like that. But sometimes you didn't want to go down there. So.
Yeah. What did you do on leave?
I'd usually come home on leave and stuff, see the family.
Other than home, did you go anywhere on leave?
No.
Do you recall any particularly humorous or unusual events?
Oh yeah, there was a lot of them, but
Not.
some of them you don't want to talk about anymore.
Do you have any photographs from your time in service?
Yeah, got a lot of them. Yeah.
Who are the people in the photographs?
Well, it's just mainly, my crew that we had and the aircraft and stuff like that.
Did you make any close friendships while in service?
Yeah, I had a few, yeah.
Did you continue any of those relationships?
I still have contact with one person, yeah.
Did you keep a personal diary?
No,
Do you recall the day your service ended?
yeah. So I was down in Omaha, I got, discharged out of Omaha.
That answers the next question of where were you, so. What did you do in the days and weeks afterwards?
Well, I came home and got a job out here at Chief Industries and, worked there for 43 years, till I retired.
You answered this question, but did you work or go to school? Said you worked. Did you take any college classes while you were in service?
No,
Was
No.
that possible back then?
yeah,
It was.
yeah, you could take college courses.
Did you join a veterans organization?
Yeah, I belong to the VFW here in Aurora.
Do you attend reunions?
No,
Already answered this, but what did you do? What did you go on to do as a career after the war? You said you were at Chief Industries.
right, yeah.
Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about military in general?
Yeah, give me insight.
Is there anything that you would like to add that we have not covered in this review? Interview, not review, my bad.
No, I think we got everything pretty much covered there.
Alright, well, thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you.